Hey everyone, this is Abigail Molina with Molina Law Group, where we freeze the fear of ICE by helping immigrants and their families arrive at a place of security and prosperity here in the U.S. Hola a todos, soy la abogada Abigail Molina con Molina Law Group, donde congelamos el miedo al ICE y ayudamos a inmigrantes y sus familias llegar a un punto de seguridad y prosperidad aquí en los Estados Unidos. So we are here today for live Q&A. It is Saturday. I think it's funny that you guys are starting to see me more relaxed than I usually am. I used to do these videos more during the work week, and I've been committed to doing these Saturdays and Sundays. So you're starting to see the more relaxed side of me. I'm definitely feeling like it's Saturday evening, and I probably need to go to bed early tonight. I had a late night last night with my husband celebrating Valentine's Day. We had a great time out, but definitely feeling it a little bit today. So I was like, I better put on at least some lipstick and brighten up my face a little bit. So here I am in all my glory. But I'm definitely dressing down a lot more for these weekend Q&As, but I want to stay committed to these live question and answer sessions because I made that commitment, and I'm a woman of her word. So I try to always fulfill what I say I will do. So here we are. I am inviting anyone who's watching to make sure that you put your questions in the comments. We'll be talking today for about 30 minutes, taking questions, answering any immigration related questions, and also talking about some immigration related topics. So Mariela, thank you for always being one of the first to comment. Mariela's referencing gift cards. Yes. So I am not above bribing people to participate in these shows because it is lonely and it is very boring talking to a camera. So please participate. If I use one of your questions and if I like the question and think that it's particularly good, then I send out gift cards. I think we might still owe a gift card to someone. I have to check on that because we've been very busy here the last couple of weeks and training a new team member. So we may have gotten a little bit behind, but they are coming, I promise. So, but thank you, Mariela, for saying hi. You're welcome for the gift cards. Thanks for participating, and that's how you earn those. Mariela está saludando y dando gracias por unos certificados de regalo que mandamos, porque aquí a mí me gusta regalar a las personas que participan en este show, porque no es tan bueno siempre estar platicando a mí mismo y viendo la cámara. Entonces prefiero platicar con ustedes mientras están ustedes mirando el show, y por eso doy premios a las personas que participan y cuando uso sus preguntas. Entonces así es que pon sus preguntas y va a recibir respuesta y también tal vez un regalito por su participación. Entonces, gracias, Mariela. Estoy aquí hoy para contestar preguntas y estuve ahorita pensando, tengo que hacer mi show y estoy tan cansada porque salí anoche con mi esposo para celebrar el Día de San Valentín. Entonces, estuve bien cansada, pero pensé, pues voy a pintar los labios a ver si salgo mejor, pero haciendo esos shows los sábados y domingos sí estoy poniendo más relajado, se puede decir. No estoy en mi ropa de la oficina, se puede decir. Entonces, pero yo creo que está bien que se puede ver que soy humana, no siempre estoy en traje, vestido para corte. Así es que espero que no se ofende, que sepan que soy humana también. I hope that you have plans this weekend with your Valentine, or if not, that you are making those plans. It is so important to make sure that we take time to celebrate those that we love. And I've always appreciated that about Latinx culture, is that Valentine's Day is not just for romance, but it's also for celebrating friendship. I remember when we moved to Texas, and Valentine's Day is so much bigger of a holiday there. And all of the gifts that people would give each other and give to their children and give to their friends and their loved ones. And I really, really appreciate that about Latin culture, that it's love is such a big thing. Estoy muy agradecida por este fin de semana y celebrando el Día de San Valentín. Espero que ustedes también tienen planes, que tienen algo para celebrar. Eso es algo que me encanta de la cultura del latino, porque no solo es el amor romántico, sino es amistades y familia. Entonces recuerdo cuando estuvimos en Texas, había tantos regalos entre amigos y amistades y familias. Entonces esto es algo que debemos de celebrar y hay mucha importancia de celebrar esto. Entonces, vamos a estar platicando hoy algunos temas de inmigración y cualquier pregunta, no se dude poner sus preguntas abajo y puedo contestarlas. So we're going to be answering immigration-related questions today. Make sure that you put them in the comments if you have any questions, and I will get to them as soon as possible. I was just sharing that I've obviously dressed down quite a bit for these shows and not wearing like a suit like I would for court. Speaking of court, I was so excited to get back to court this week because it has been almost 2 years since I was in immigration court, if you can believe that. The last hearing that I attended was right before the pandemic hit. I remember it was like the middle of March. I had a hearing, maybe even like the second week of March. We were just starting to hear about COVID, and I felt like, okay, probably the best thing to do at this point is to just take a 2-week break and then everything will pass by, right? They told us just take a 2-week break, stay home, and things, it'll flatten the curve and things will be gone within 2 weeks. So I told the court that I was planning to just stay home for a couple of weeks. And as I left the courtroom, I said, may the odds be ever in your favor. And I did not, in my wildest imagination, think that those 2 weeks would turn into now 2 years that I was out of immigration court. And the courts have been back in session for a while, but as soon as things started getting back to normal last summer, my hearings kept getting rescheduled and postponed and whatnot. So it kept getting pushed back and pushed back. And so I was so excited to get back into court this week. I had 2 hearings, actually. They're not in person still, but they're over the computer. I actually liked that because our local immigration court is in Portland, which is 2 hours away from my office. So it's nice, especially for an 8:30 in the morning hearing. I didn't have to get up, leave town at 5 o'clock, battle traffic up in Portland, and to get to court on time. I was able to do it calmly and comfortably from our office. So we set up one computer in one conference room and the other computer in our other conference room. So the other computer was for our client and for his family members to give their testimony. And it worked really well. Actually, there were some technical glitches and some issues with sound, but we worked through that and we were able to do really well. I was really happy to be back in court. I don't know if I hope that you have the ability to be in a position where you do work that you just feel like you were made to do. I don't know if you've ever had that experience, if you had a job like that where you're just like, this is what I was made to do. And, that's the feeling that I had when I first became a legal assistant for an immigration attorney. The very first day I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I was like 23, 24, really still didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do. And as soon as I took that job and started doing that work, I just felt like that's what what God made me to do. And so anytime I'm in the courtroom, I just have that memory again. And I have that feeling. I just feel so grateful that I get the opportunity to help my clients in this way. And it's something that I enjoy doing. I talk sometimes with other immigration attorneys and they say, oh, I don't take cases that go to court because I don't feel comfortable. I don't know what to do. And yeah, it is a little bit more complicated. But I just look at them and I think, wow, you're just missing out because it can be kind of fun. It's kind of like a challenge and, someone that, for most attorneys, we like to win. So as you're in the hearing, it's like this chess game. How can I win this hearing for my client? So I was excited to get back into court. Had 2 hearings actually this week, one on Tuesday and then one yesterday. And it just feels great to be back and helping clients. Our clients are excited that their cases are finally moving forward. So all around, just feels like some sort of that we're getting back to normal, right? Now we've heard an announcement in Oregon that at the end of March, the mask mandate's going to go away. So it's really is starting to feel like things are finally going to go back to normal. What started as what I thought was going to be a 2-week vacation in March of 2020 and telling the court, I'll see you on the flip side of this. Never would have expected that my next hearing would be in 2 years, but so excited to have been back in court this week. Estoy platicando sobre la Corte de Inmigración porque hace 2 años, cuando empezaba la pandemia, en marzo de 2020, tuve una audiencia en Portland, y eso es cuando fue como el principios de marzo, o tal vez segunda semana de marzo. Recuerdo muy claramente que estuvimos allí en corte, terminamos la corte, ganamos el caso, y estuve platicando con el juez y la fiscal y estuvimos empezando a platicar sobre la pandemia que apenas estaban empezando de platicar de lo que debamos de hacer. Entonces yo les dije, usé la frase de la película Hunger Games, may the odds be ever in your favor. No sé cómo traducirlo. Esperamos que tenga suerte, pues, que no se muera. Y me miraron así un poco extraño y le dije, pues voy a estar en casa las próximas 2 semanas. Esperamos que todo pase rápido. Y porque nos estaban diciendo, pues si todos se quedan en casa 2 semanas, ya se va a pasar la pandemia y podemos regresar a lo normal. Nunca sabíamos que iba a ser 2 años, 2 años en el futuro, cuando iba a poder regresar a la corte. Entonces fue esta semana, casi 2 años, desde la última vez que estuve en corte, que tuvimos mis primeros audiencias de nuevo con la corte. No en persona, todavía por computadora, pero qué gusto tenía estar en corte de nuevo. Y a veces platico con otros abogados de inmigración y me dicen, no, es que no acepto casos de corte de inmigración porque es demasiado complicado y no me gusta ir a corte y no entiendo cómo hacerlo. Y entiendo que es algo distinto y tienen que aprender cómo hacerlo, pero los miro como locos porque por eso asistimos la escuela de leyes, por eso somos abogados, para pelear en corte y hasta me da gusto estar en corte porque me gusta ganar, me gusta pelear, entonces es como un juego. Entiendo que las consecuencias son las vidas de mis clientes, entonces aún más quiero ganar el caso de nuestros clientes. Entonces, hoy, o no hoy, pero esta semana estuvimos en corte por fin y recuerdo pensando que esto es mi propósito para mi vida. O sea, no sé si ustedes tienen un trabajo o han tenido un trabajo en lo cual se siente que está cumpliendo su propósito de su vida, pero le juro que cada vez que estoy en corte, cada vez que estamos presentando un caso con inmigración, esto es lo que me siento. Siento que estoy haciendo el propósito por lo cual Dios me creyó. Recuerdo también cuando empecé como asistente de abogada de inmigración en 2000, yo tenía como 23, 24 años y no sabía todavía qué es lo que quería hacer, pero después de empezar en ese trabajo y empezar de trabajar con los clientes, me di cuenta que por eso yo nací, o sea, nací para hacer ese trabajo de inmigración. Entonces, luego estudié para ser abogada y desde 2010 soy abogada de inmigración. Y cada vez que trabajo con clientes, cada vez que estamos en corte procesando un caso, podemos estar en medio de testimonio y tengo tanta gratitud, dando tantas gracias a Dios que me ha dado ese privilegio de servir a mis clientes de esa forma. Entonces, estoy diciendo todo eso solo para comentar que esta semana tuve el privilegio de estar en corte. No hemos recibido noticias sobre el caso todavía, pero la jueza nos dijo que iba a considerarlo y tenía que pensarlo bien porque había unos factores que tenía que pensar, pero esto me alegra escuchar porque fue un caso medio difícil y el escuchar que le di su información suficiente para hacerle pensar, porque un juez tiene tanto poder, puede decir no o sí, sin pensarlo, la verdad. Si no le gusta una situación, si no le gusta un caso, puede negar el caso solo por ese motivo. Tiene discreción, tiene mucho poder y discreción para poder decidir un caso. Entonces, este caso que presentamos esta semana, uh, la jueza tenía el poder de negarlo de una vez, pero ella dijo que iba a pensarlo. Entonces, esto me da muchas esperanzas. Y estuve tan agradecida de hacer lo que estamos haciendo a veces. A veces me pienso, ¿cómo puede ser que esto es un trabajo? Porque es algo que me encanta hacer y me da tanto gozo y de verdad, estoy diciendo la verdad que a veces no puedo creer que esto es un trabajo. So I've been talking today about my experiences in immigration court this week, my gratitude for being back into court. Feels like finally, after 2 years of being out of court, that the pandemic is subsiding and things are going back to normal and our cases are finally moving forward. And it's exciting. It's something that I pinch myself all the time. It's amazing to me that this is a job because it doesn't feel like a job. It feels like just something that's so amazing that I get to do to help people, and it's fun too. It's kind of like a chess game being in court. And I was saying earlier, I don't understand attorneys that don't want to go to court because to me, that's the fun. That's the most fun time is to be in court and arguing these cases. So if you have a case before immigration, the immigration court, whether that's here in Portland or anywhere across the country. We have cases all across the country in many different states, and we travel to those. And in fact, I'll be traveling in September back to Houston. So it's been nice to start traveling again, right? Now that the pandemic is subsiding and we have the ability to travel again and feels safe to do so. I'm excited to be traveling for more hearings upcoming soon. So if you have one or you know someone who's looking for an attorney, find someone who actually enjoys being in court. You know, it's nothing worse than having an attorney who hates to go to court or who's so nervous in court that they can't even speak or get an argument out clearly. Make sure that you choose an attorney who actually enjoys winning. I don't know. I think some people just get so nervous that they forget the point of being in court. So call us today if you have a court case that you want some help with, 541-653-8899. We've gotten a couple of calls this week for our free discovery session, asking if we could just take a look at their case, a case that they have in immigration court. And so make sure if you schedule one of those appointments, make sure that you've gathered a copy of your file. If you're working with an attorney already, make sure you get a copy of that file. So we need to be able to see where the case is at, what the progress of that case is so that we can best be able to help. Si usted tiene un caso en la Corte de Inmigración o conoce a alguien que tiene un caso en la Corte de Inmigración, es muy importante empezar de buscar representación ya. O si no está satisfecho con su representación, puede buscar a alguien más. Y yo les recomiendo que buscan un abogado que le gusta estar en corte. O sea, algunos abogados están tan nerviosos o no están preparados o no quieren ir a corte. Y nosotros, a mí, como estoy diciendo en este video, me encanta estar en corte. Y no solo aquí en Oregon, pero aceptamos casos en todas partes de los Estados Unidos. En septiembre tenemos un caso en Houston y ya que con la pandemia que está mejorando y podemos viajar, a mí me encanta viajar y ir a varios cortes y representar clientes por todos los estados. Entonces, si usted tiene un caso o conoce a alguien que tiene un caso de inmigración con la Corte de Inmigración, llámanos. Nos encantaría platicar con ustedes sobre su caso. El número de teléfono es 541-653-8899. Hemos tenido algunas personas llamando esta semana para programar su cita de descubrimiento y recuerdan que esta cita es completamente gratuita y tienen ya su caso con la Corte de Inmigración. Entonces, estamos pidiendo que se juntan una copia de su expediente. Por ejemplo, si tiene ya abogado, pero quiere una segunda opinión, por favor, pide una copia de su expediente para que podamos, para que podamos revisar lo que está pasando y poder ayudarle. All right, we've got less than 10 minutes to go. We've been talking about immigration court. I'm open to any questions related to immigration court or any other questions. So feel free to put those in the comments below and I will answer those. Tenemos menos de 10 minutos para contestar preguntas y veo que sí hay personas mirando. Entonces tal vez están tímidos o tal vez no saben qué tipo de pregunta hacer. Estoy dispuesta a responder cualquier pregunta sobre casos de inmigración. Ahorita hemos estado platicando de casos en la corte, pero no tiene que ser este tema. Entonces puede hacer cualquier pregunta y voy a contestar. So the case that I had this week was called cancellation of removal. And I just want to go over the requirements for that really quickly. This is a type of case that we hear about frequently because people usually hear about this type of case as one where if they can show that their kids have some kind of medical problem or difficulty in school, that they might be able to get their green card that way. So I always hear people that come in and say, well, I want to apply for that thing because my kid is autistic or my kid has learning disabilities and I've been here for a long time. So I think I qualify for this. And I have to explain there that it's not just it's not something that you can apply for without already being in court. So in other words, it's only for people who are already in immigration court and who are trying to stop their deportation. So that's why it's called cancellation of removal. It's canceling the deportation. And so to qualify for that, you have to show that you've been here for 10 years, that you've been a person of good moral character, that you haven't committed certain crimes. And you also have to show that either your spouse or your parent or your children who are U.S. citizens or permanent residents would suffer extreme and exceptionally unusual hardship if you were removed. So it's a pretty high standard. It's not just that they would be sad if you got deported or that they would financially suffer if you got deported, but you have to show why they need to stay here and why they need you and why they would suffer if you were no longer here. Sandra tiene una pregunta. ¿Siempre se necesita un abogado o puede hacer solicitud de ciudadanía yo misma? Gracias por su pregunta, Sandra. No hay un requisito de tener representación de abogado. Incluso tampoco en corte de inmigración hay un requisito de tener abogado, pero puede ser muy valioso tener representación. Por ejemplo, si alguien hace una solicitud para la ciudadanía sin representación y a fin de todos no califica para la ciudadanía, se puede meter en muchos problemas. Se puede perder la residencia, se puede ponerse en proceso de deportación. Entonces, siempre recomiendo por lo menos consultar con un abogado o abogada de inmigración antes de solicitar algo para saber, para un reviso. Y aquí en la oficina hacemos un reviso sin costo, entonces no le perjudica hacerlo. Llámanos 541-653-8899. No le perjudica y puede saber si es buena idea o no, si califica o no, porque si a fin de todos solicita algo y pierde el caso, puede salir aún peor y puede estar en proceso de deportación, aparte de perder todos los honorarios que están pagados. Entonces, buena pregunta. Les animo a por lo menos hablar con nosotros. Por ejemplo, tuvimos una consulta recientemente con una pareja, tenían varias preguntas, estaban pensando de hacer la ciudadanía y querían saber cuánto va a costar y si pueden hacerlo, si califica o no. Platicamos, contestamos sus preguntas. A fin de todo, yo les dije, ¿sabe qué? Esto es lo que vamos a cobrarle si decide usar nuestros servicios, pero tal vez usted se siente capaz de hacerlo por su propia cuenta. Entonces, mucho de la solicitud depende de su habilidad de leer las instrucciones, de entender cómo responder a las preguntas. Pero a veces sí hay casos, muchas veces hay casos complicados y mi recomendación es no hacerlo, no entregarlo o si lo va a estar haciendo, por lo menos que tiene representación. Entonces, esto es algo muy importante. Sandra had a great question. She was asking if she needs an attorney in order to file her citizenship application. Or if she could do it herself. And so I was explaining that there is no requirement to get an attorney, either in applications that you're filing or even in immigration court. There's no requirement that you have an attorney. But it can be very, very helpful to at least have a consultation with an attorney before you file something. Let's say, for example, you want to file your citizenship and you don't realize that there was a big problem with your green card. Maybe there was some issue that was not disclosed. And so now you're looking at potentially like a fraud issue. And so if you file on your own and you get to the N400 interview and all of these things start to come out, number one, you're going to lose out on the filing fee that you paid because your application's going to be denied. But even worse, what can happen is they can send your case to an immigration judge to determine whether or not you should even remain in the US. So it can get really complicated and really messy really quickly. So that's why I firmly recommend that you call our office, because we offer that free discovery call so we can evaluate your case and let you know whether or not it's a good idea to file, whether or not we think that the case will be successful, and also whether or not you should make sure you hire an attorney. There's many times when I meet with people and we talk about their case and we answer questions, and it seems that they have an understanding of how to fill out the form and what to do. And so I recommend if you feel confident doing it, I think that this is a case that you could file on your own. But there's many times also where I say, please don't do this on your own. You will mess this up and this will go badly for you. So whether or not people choose to hire us, that's of course their personal decision. But I like to at least try to warn, and so that I don't have to come back and say, I told you so, why did you do this? But we do understand that not everyone needs an attorney. Not everyone wants to have an attorney. And so we're here to help those that do need an attorney, that do desire the help of our office, and we want to be able to make sure that we're available for those. So great question, Sandra. I think Sandra is the winner. We've got like less than a minute to go, and Sandra had the best question out of all of them. So Sandra, can you make sure to reach out to me by Facebook Messenger? Give me your address. I'd love to send you a gift card for participating in today's show. Sandra es la ganadora este show. Ella tenía la pregunta mejor de todas las preguntas y quisiera darle un premio para su participación. Entonces, mándame un mensaje por Facebook y dame su dirección, su nombre completo y su dirección para poder mandarle un regalito por su participación. Entonces, así nos vamos a quedar para hoy. Mañana vamos a estar de nuevo. Estoy pensando hacerlo antes del Super Bowl. No sé si van a estar mirando este juego de fútbol mañana. Pero entonces este show de preguntas y respuestas va a ser antes. Entonces empieza a las 3:30. Una hora tal vez antes vamos a estar aquí de nuevo. Trae sus preguntas, Sandra. Sí, felicidades, Sandra. Gracias por su participación. We're going to end this now. We'll be back tomorrow sometime before the Super Bowl starts. I don't know if you're planning to watch that. I just watched the halftime show and the commercials. I don't really care for football, but this halftime show is going to be lit. Like, it's going to take me back to 2000 when I went to the Eminem and Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre concert up in Portland. Y'all are probably too young to remember that, but this halftime show is going to be so much fire. I'm so excited for it. So definitely this question and answer will be sometime before 3:30 tomorrow. I'll give a heads up. If you haven't already, make sure that you have liked our page and that you've turned on the notifications so that you will know when we go live. Sandra gave us some hand claps. Yay, Sandra, you are the winner. Make sure you send me your name and address so we can send you a little prize. All right, that's all, you guys. Thanks for being with us. Go enjoy your Saturday night. Have a great time. Get some rest, whatever you need to do. And we'll be back here with you tomorrow. Gracias todos. Vamos a estar de nuevo con ustedes mañana. Que pasen feliz tarde y noche. Gracias.